Welcome to class. We are going to have a class today called Nourish the Roots. And I am on an antihistamine, so I'm going to be able to talk louder. And I'm going to keep it shorter though, because I just had my COVID shot and I don't usually do real well with those. As you can see, I'm holding on though. So let's get started. You're going to need a block. I have two 4-inch blocks under my knee. I like 4-inch blocks. They're going to go under our back for a supported bridge, which is going to be our first pose. I have a couple 3-inch blocks here, if that's easy for you to slip it underneath yourself. Then we're going to do a supported pigeon, which we're going to need a bolster for that. You can take a couple pillows, wrap it together with a tie or a bathrobe. And then we're going to need the pillows or bolster for a pose after that with a couple of blocks underneath. I prefer the 4-inch. If you want to use a couple books about that height, go ahead. You might even want something higher. Just make sure they're both the same height and you wrap towels around a little bit just to make it a little bit kinder on yourself when you're bumping into it maybe. And then once again, if you have a round bolster, better, but bolster, pillows, and then a blanket or towel to fold up, and we're going to put that right under our hip area. I only had a sheet today, so I folded that up. What I did is I took and folded it in half longwise, then went all the way down, held it up, and just rolled it over. That's what I'm going to use. If it's not thick enough, I have a yoga towel, hand towel you can use too, and I'll just wrap that around it to make it a little bit thicker for more support on our back for the last move. So this is going to be a nice short sequence. It says from 20 to 30 minutes on these cards. Let's see how fast it flows. So let's start with a supported bridge pose. You probably have done this with me if you've been doing yoga with me. And water, of course, very important. And a yoga strap, to put around your knees for this pose right here. I have a pillow here, but I'm not going to use it. I don't. I also have knee pads. Sometimes in between I like to stretch. I go by my own body. I hope you're okay with that. So let's come down here and let's start with the supported bridge pose. This one's pretty simple. I need to get the timer. Have the timer. We're going to do that for 3 to 5 minutes. Let's do that one for 5 minutes because that one's really nice. So take your block. Like I said, you can take, this one's 4 inches high. It's easier when you have a 3 inches sticking under you. Or if you really have a problem, use even a 1-inch book. Wrap it around nicely with a towel. I would not a big bath towel, but I would say like a hand towel, maybe a couple thin hand towels so it's not too bulky. You can do 2-inch book. So you just don't want to hurt your back because this is soft. So make sure you're not going to hurt yourself. Come lie down. Take the block. Stick it under your butt, but you're going to have to feel where it's right for you. Oh, actually, you need I need the yoga strap too. Yoga strap. If you don't know how to make a loop in a yoga strap, just take a yoga strap, come through both of the metal pieces, and then come through like that. So you're going over the top of the one to the left, or the outside of your, I don't know, I guess it would be right on here. And then pull it a little bit. Go through your legs. Let's have that ready so when we lay down, are you ready to go? Do it a little bit looser around your legs than you ordinarily would have, and you can adjust as you lay down. So let's try that again. Under your butt there. Now you're going to feel where it feels comfortable to put it. You don't want to hurt your backbone or your spine. Of course, now I got to get up again to get the clock. All right. So let's find a nice comfortable pose in this, and we'll begin. You can put something under your head if you like, a yoga towel. Fold it up a little bit. This is all about being comfortable, so you want to have a lot of different towels and blankets, things that make you feel comfortable. lot of times I like to take a towel, like a nice bath towel, and I fold it in half, and sometimes even half again, and I put it under my shoulder blades, let it reach my head, and then I'll put maybe even another small yoga towel folded under my head. Not too high, because you want to have some kind of alignment, but it just gives you support under your shoulder blades, especially if you're sore. A lot of people have a hard time getting down on the floor. Right now is a pretty good day to me, or I'm kind of riding on high from an antihistamine, and it's a little bit stronger for me than I would like, but that's why my body's not really in a complete relaxed state where I might feel the uncomfortableness of being on the floor so much. So if you want to add towels underneath, and don't worry about the time frame. Setting it for 5 minutes gives you the time to at least get the 3 minutes, or you can pause this. I mean, sometimes obviously you want to hear what I have to say, so no worry here. You know, once you've figured out how you want to do it, you can always just pause it and set yourself up to how you feel comfortable, and then just continue with us over here. So just fall into the movement. Adjust as you need to. As you can see, if you're kind of watching it all, I don't have the yoga belt holding my legs tight together. That's uncomfortable for me. Some people might like it held closer together, but I like a little space in between my knees, so you do what your body's telling you to do, and then it might change down the road too. So it's all about relaxation and being aware of what your body wants, what your body's telling you, where you want your body to be, and your mind. Slowly take the block out from underneath you. Release your legs from the yoga belts. And gently roll over to the side, bringing your knees up towards your chest, just to rest for a moment. And then slowly come up. Okay. Sit comfortably while we get ready for the next pose. The next pose, I'm going to make this a little bit more of an alternative pose where here they have you laying on a bolster with your hips and bringing one knee up. But they have the toe kind of in this picture. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. I think you'll see me better this way. They have the toe kind of like crunched down underneath and you're like flattening it. And I found that that was uncomfortable for me. So I'm going to use something to raise me up a little bit. That sheet that I folded, whatever you were going to put under your back for one of the poses I talked about, that we're going to need it for. I didn't give you a name. It's called Restorative Frog. But so take the bolster up here, kind of kitty corner it, and I'm going to raise my head a little bit because what happens is, but I'm not going to bend my foot underneath either. I think what I'm going to do is make it a little bit more like a supported frog. Though a supported frog is you got your knee way up and out. This one you're going to be a little bit closer, but I want to put some head support up here. And then what you're going to do is, let me see how long. This one's 3 to 5 minutes. Let's do 3 minutes. This was a tricky one. We're going to do 3 minutes on each side. So we'll bring our hip down and just lay it on the bolster. And the other leg comes up. But see, it's supposed to be kind of down and under. And ordinarily that can be like problemsome. So if I have my head up, it's not so bad. And I'm not really feeling it. Like the pressure on the foot being down like that. Alternately, what you can do is just kind of put your foot out there a little bit. As a matter of fact, I'll just do that. Probably healthier anyway for your foot. But those who are very, very flexible can just keep their foot down the way I had it first for a long time. So let's do that on one side and then we'll switch to the other. Now I don't need, since I don't have the foot underneath there, I'm finding I don't need that much height on my head. You'll feel your back kind of line, so don't hurt yourself. Just, I still want more than that though. But this feels perfect for me. Yeah, your body will tell you, you know, what you need to adjust. And then once you start falling into it, like I just fell into it, my body's telling me to just remove a little bit of that height from my head. Okay, slowly come up. And we're going to go to the other side. I've got things falling on me. Oh, I have this just in case I need it. That actually goes to a wedge to my bed. Okay, let's come to this side now. Once again, we're going to put our hip up to the bolster and bring our leg up. And then this one I'm bending, but I'm going to end up just putting it back up. There we go. Okay. Oh, I can't quite see. There we go. Here's my foot. I don't think you'll be able to see it. There we go. Okay. Let's do this side now. Okay, let's slowly come up from that one. Oh. Here's where I want you to stretch out a little bit. If you have knee pads, ideal. If not, I'm sorry, my nose is running and I have an antihistamine that I took. I like to use blocks for support on my wrists. I have weak wrists. I did that to myself hanging upside down on a yoga trapeze, and I refused to let my body stay in the state it was, so I pushed with all my might up against my headstands on it and hurt my wrists, but I don't regret it because I got to this point. So let's just push up into a, is that cat or cow? That's cow. So cow is we're just arching our back, pushing up with our back arched. And I think of a U in your back. Just push up on your hands. I have my toes lifted a little bit. And now arch like a cat hissing. Ugh. And then come up again like a U shape. I call them cow. And then one more for a cat. Hold on, hold this, hold this. This is good for your arms too. And here we go. Alright. Okay, now let's get ready for the supported child pose. This will be our third pose. Then we have one after this one. Then we can play a little downward dog to stretch out using blocks. So let's come over here and just put a bolster on top of a couple blocks or a pillow and then just crawl up over it. And I'm going to use this to support my head. Let's do this one for 5 minutes. Actually, let's do 2 minutes and I will turn our head to the other side. Come down and just snuggle into it. Gently lift your head up and turn it to the other side. take our bolster and put it behind us. And we're going to use something like what I've been using, a blanket or a sheet. And I'm going to use this because I only have a sheet and it's not going to give me enough of what I need to hold my hips elevated a little bit. Just see how long. Okay, restorative frog, 3 to 5 minutes. Let's do 2 and then turn the head again. How's that? So this goes under the hips. I'm going to use this to put on my head. I'm kind of kitty corded on the floor so I can show you where I'm at. I probably will just turn myself again properly. But you're going to come down and put your hips on your sheet or blanket so that you're reaching about right there. And then your feet are going to kind of go in like a frog. Just like that. Touching each other a little bit. And then you just rest your head down. And let's do that for a couple minutes and then just turn our head. Slowly lift your head up and turn it to the other side. up on your forearms, push yourself up. You can move your support that was under your hips. Move your bolster. Let's take a couple blocks now. Whether you want 3 or 4 inches, it's up to you. Let's use knee pads if you have them, so we can start off for those who can't do the full downward dog. You can do upward facing dogs. You can start it on your knees. Let's do this for those who can't do downward dog. This is good for you too. It stretches out your body. Make sure you move back far enough. I really like to push myself on this. So push up. My legs are extended all the way back. And come back. Sit on your thighs, just a hair. I don't even feel myself sitting on them really, but then come up. You can lift your feet up on the back too at the same time. It's a lot of fun. And if you're not going to do the full downward dog, you can just come down if you want and just rest. You can even put your head on the blocks. And then wait for us. For those of you who want to do the downward dog, curl your toes under and then push off. And just work those legs out, those hips going back and forth. You've been working on your hips today, so let's stretch them back out so when you get up and walk around, you're not feeling that tension. You can bring one foot forward, turn the blocks around, stretch the opposite leg back, stretching a little bit, stretch your arm up, bring that leg back to the downward dog, other leg in, stretch. And your arm up, reach, come down. Both legs together, downward dog again, stretch. Bring your knees down. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't bring your knees down. Come back up. Take a block. Sit on it for a supported garland. If those of you who are in the child's pose or upward facing dog, you want to join us in the garland. It's a lot of fun. Once you get used to it, it just feels like this really comfortable little seat. Let's sit here as long as we can. We're cooling down now. You did a great job today. I want to thank you for coming to class. Sit here as long as you can. I'm probably going to sit a little bit longer. So, thank you for coming.